Wonderful shot, all the way for 6. What a player.
Welcome to another new episode of TSCK series. And today we'll be talking about the fantasy picks for KKR versus SRH. So we have already completed 2 episodes of the fantasy. This is our 3rd episode of the fantasy.
So, interesting couple of games which we had earlier on yesterday and day before. Tomorrow is going to be again a very interesting game between SRH and Kolkata Knight Riders. Pick Bairstow as the keeper and also the captain of this team. Looking at how good a form he was in the India versus England T20 series, there is no way we can go past him. He seems to be hitting the ball with a very sweet spot at his back. So definitely Bairstow, the keeper as well as the captain from our side. Warner, absolutely brilliant batsman in the IPL. Throughout season after season, he keeps on performing well. So he's an easy pick. We're going to go with the dark horse Kedar Jadhav for Sunrisers. From the Kolkata Knight Riders, we have Nitish Rana and Shubman Gill, 2 youngsters who are bound to take the world by storm. And I'm pretty sure Kolkata Knight Riders will rely on these 2 to give a good start. That will be the lineup for batting as well as.
Yeah, regarding the all-rounders, you can't look beyond Andre Russell with his big hitting and with his death bowling. So with his big hitting, he can just finish the match in around 3 overs. Who can forget that match against RCB where he finished off 50 runs when 50 runs were required of 3 overs and he just finished the game in 2 overs. Yeah, you cannot look beyond him and is a very handy death bowler, and the way he bowls his Yorkers at the death, he could be a very handy pick. And Shakib Al Hasan. We feel Shakib Al Hasan will play ahead of Sunil Narayan. Sunil Narayan looks completely out of sorts. And Shakib Al Hasan gives you that balance. He gives you that 4 overs and is a very good bat in the middle order. He can be a floater in that KKR batting order, and he can be used however the situation demands. And is a handy fielder as well. Then Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He was very good in the India versus England series, and he was picking up early wickets. He was also bowling well at the death. So he would be a safe bet, and you know that he is bound to take wickets. Prasidh Krishna, even though he was expensive, he has just made his debut for India, and he would definitely play. And he can give you some early wickets. And if KKR use him properly and not use him at the death, bowl him within this first 16 overs, he could be very handy for them. Rashid Khan, you cannot look beyond him. He is the world #1 spinner, and he plies his trade all over the world. And you know that he is going to be economical with his variations. He's gonna pick wickets. A safe bet to go with. Again, Varun Chakravarti. And he was pretty impressive. Somehow he cannot make it to the Indian team because of the lack of fitness, but he will definitely make it to the KKR 11, and he's bound to shine with it.
For the IPL T20 Fantasy Official League, the one which is a marathon, remember guys, slow and steady wins the race. If you haven't scored much points, do not worry. Stay calm, be conservative. First few games, just watch out who's doing well, how the team settles in, and then you can be sure who will play in the long run. So if I have to pick 3 players, my first bet, captain, Shakib Al Hasan. We all think he will be ahead of Sunil Narayan, and he'll probably bat in top 4. He'll give you runs, potentially wickets, economical and all that. So Shakib Al Hasan, definite pick. The second one I would go is David Warner. David Warner, make him the vice captain. He always delivers. The only batsman to have 500 or 600 runs every season in the last 4-5 years. Definite sure shot, and I'll just keep him in my side for a long term. The third one, a doghouse I have from Sunrisers Hyderabad, a bowler, Sandeep Sharma. His stats very much similar to what Bumrah is, just that he just goes under the radar, always delivers for SRH. On a slow, low pitch in Chennai, you might think spinners would do well, but I expect Rashid Khan, the batsman, to just play him out, and he may not get as much wickets as people would expect. So those are the 3 ones. From an uncapped perspective, you're spoiled for choices. But Varun Chakravarti is an easy one. Varun Chakravarti, again, a sure shot for KKR. Picked up lots of wickets last year. Expect us to do the same for KKR this time around as well. If you do not want him, or you've had enough combination restrictions, etc., then go for Nitish Rana. Again, set to open. Will score a few runs for you.
On the fantasy part, we are going with Johnny Bairstow as the captain because he has looked in very good form in the recent India-England series, and is set to open with David Warner. So expect a lot of runs from him. And then we are going with Andre Russell as the vice captain because, as we mentioned, he is a big hitter. He can get you those runs, and even get you those wickets at the death.
The match is in Chidambaram, if I'm not wrong. Shakib and Rashid will definitely be very handy picks. I agree with Sanjay that in the IPL T20, since it's a long marathon, we got to be playing safe. So initially, I think Shakib as the captain in IPL T20 makes sense. But from a Dream11 perspective, Johnny Bairstow, knowing the kind of form he's in, and he bats at the opening slot, we would rather have him as the captain. But both, in either ways, are very good captain choices. So that will be actually it from our side.
For our viewers, fantasy tips provided in this video are purely our personal opinion, and Waadaplaya or its members cannot be held responsible for any losses or any claims. And finally, thanks everyone for watching our videos and liking it and also supporting us. Please spread a word about our channel with all your near and dear ones, your friends, and keep supporting us. Thanks everyone.